Welcome back to Leeds Lately. We're going to be talking about today's game, the opening fixture of the Championship season 24-25, where Leeds have drawn 3-3 against Portsmouth. Before we get into it, make sure you hit that big red button down below. But, of course, Leeds have just drawn 3-3 at Elland Road against Portsmouth. And we're going to be talking a little bit about, in this video, does that performance give us confidence or give us a little bit of misgivings based on whether we think we're going to be able to win this league. So let's talk about the game. Look, overall, we had 3 chances in the first 7 minutes that hit the bar. 3. You had a very good free kick from Gruev. You had the one that dropped to Nonto in the box. He hit the top of the bar, and you also had Ampadu's header from a corner hitting the bar. And then we scored around the 10th, 12th minute. Can't remember quite when it was, with Pascal Strout's penalty when Dan James was brought down. In those opening minutes, in those opening 15, 20 minutes, we were brilliant. And I thought, this is everything I want to see from Leeds. We were dominating the ball. We were dominating the opposition. And we were really, really giving ourselves the best kind of chance to win the game. Had we taken those chances, we would have won this game. We could have been, let's say, conservatively 2-0 up in the 10th minute. We would have been gone. We'd have been out of sight and they would have had no chance back into it. But there are still issues defensively. I thought, obviously, we scored our penalty. Very good penalty from Pascal Strout. Slotted it that way. The goalkeeper went the other way. We pressed high from the first sort of 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Once we scored our goal, we did start to back off. And when their goal went in, it should have been a big wake-up call. It should have been defended better. The ball came back out to Pack. Somebody should have blocked that passing line. Bogle's positioning was wrong. He was too close inside, and in the end, it was Jorginho and Dan James having to mark that passing lane, and neither of them got close to it. Bogle should have been out there protecting that portion of the pitch where the ball dropped to their striker, and they had a shot, and it went in. Meslier, I think it went through him. I think he should have done better with that chance as well. But I do think overall, realistically, Leeds should have been keeping up the pressure in that situation. We should have been better than that. We should have been going forward again more. They went 2-1 up as well, so they had a free kick, bounced back out to the edge of the box, well, about halfway inside their half, our half, sorry. And their player brought it down on his knee, took a couple of touches and banged it in from outside the box. Look, unbelievable finish, fantastic finish. And people did say in my stream, and people are tempted to say in a situation like that, nothing you can do about that unbelievable strike. There is something you can do about it. There's 3 things we could have done about that. Number 1, Rodon should never have given the free kick away in the first place. The ball was coming over from a long ball, which we talked about could be an issue for us in that pre-season review video that I did, that it could be an issue for us having long balls coming over the top. Rodon got himself all in a muddle and got himself on the wrong side of the attacker, sorry, he's the defender. And he started grabbing him, pulling his shirt, and eventually pulled him down, and Leeds got a free kick against him. That's the first thing. The second thing is when the free kick is taken, it gets taken over towards the back post and Rodon wins the header. Easy, free header. Nothing to worry about. But what Rodon does is he heads it straight back into the middle of the pitch. So imagine your pitch is here. He's like here in the box. He heads it straight back into the middle of the pitch. Obviously, the best place to score a goal from, according to our favourite man, Jesse Marsh. But he should have headed it down the line, or at least away in that direction down the channels, if he thought there was a lot of Portsmouth players in that midfield area. Then the third one is that no one got close enough to the Portsmouth player. He took a fairly bad touch with his thigh. It bounced ahead of him, and no one closed him down quick enough before he had the shot. So there's 3 moments in that move in which we could have stopped that goal. So there is something that we can do about. There is something to look at. There is something to stop with this. So let's have a think about how we can fix that, hopefully, over the next couple of days before the next game. Then Leeds got back into it after half-time. Look, Leeds came flying out the blocks like I hoped they would have. They started the second half a little bit like they started the first. Nonto cut inside from the left-hand side. It was a very Crescencio Somerville style move. This is why Nonto wanted to play out on the left-hand side, because he wanted to be able to cut in and shoot. But whereas Crescencio Somerville might have curled it in the opposite top corner, in the far top corner, Nonto really gave the goalkeeper the eyes and just slotted it in the bottom corner to his near post. So it was a really, really good move by Nonto to be able to do that, and there was a few players involved in that as well, but Nonto did really, really well to score that. Leeds, throughout the rest of that half, pretty much dominated the whole thing. We played well. We played the ball around well. When you brought Rothwell on, you brought AARONSON on, a couple of other players, Peru, eventually Bamford. I think we didn't look weaker. We still look decent. We still look strong. We still look like scoring goals. So that's a positive. The depth is working. And when you bring those players on into that situation, can they impact the game? Or at least can they continue the play that we were trying to create? And yes, they could. So I think that's good. Let's talk about the refereeing. The refereeing, again, and I was excited for this game because I forgot about the standard of refereeing in this division. It's terrible. It's really, really awful. The Strauch one in the left-back position where he sort of totted it up with his thigh and then was ready to clear it. He went to clear it. He didn't even get anywhere near the ball or the man. Like, he didn't kick the man. He didn't touch the man. Sadie, the Portsmouth player, came flying in and kicked Strauch. Somehow Strauch got a yellow card and they got a free kick. Unbelievably bad decision. Then the Bogle penalty. Now, they, of course, got a penalty in the 90th minute. Bogle and Sadie, again, were kind of wrestling inside the box, but it was definitely 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. At first, outside the box, Bogle had a little tug of his shirt. Then they caught up and he faced up against him one-on-one. Bogle being on the inside of the box, Sadie being on the wing, trying to get inside the box. He tried to go past him, but Sadie had a fistful of the underneath the number. So you can imagine what part of the shirt that is. The bottom of the shirt, underneath the number on the back of his shirt. He had a full fist of Bogle's shirt pulling him down. So Bogle had a bit of an arm round his shoulder and his chest, and they both fell over. Referee gives that as a penalty to them and they score it. Unbelievable. We're like, what are you doing? Awful decision. Then you get Leeds' reply to this, which obviously, because it was meant to be 5 minutes added on, there was actually more than that added on because of the the penalty itself taking a while. But the ball fell to Joel Peru, who poked the ball for Brendan AARONSON. He had a lot to do on the edge of the box, but he opened his body up and he looked for that gap between the defender's legs, and then unsighting the goalkeeper and put it in the bottom corner. Excellent finish from Brendan AARONSON. Hero, saved the game. Then Brendan AARONSON gets a one-on-one with the goalkeeper after Bogle runs through and pokes it through to him, and he just slashes it wide, just past the left-hand post. It's got to be at least on target. You've got to be finishing that in that situation. So he's kind of made himself the hero, not made himself the villain, but kind of brought himself back down a peg or two, because that's the one that people remember, because he could have won the game 4-3. Overall then, let's take all that aside. Look, do I think Leeds can be title contenders based on this performance? And obviously you shouldn't just base it on this performance, but we're just rating the performance today. Obviously there's other context, but I think that the way that we played in the first 10-15 minutes and the way that we played towards the end of the game, where we dominate and we create so many chances, we've just got to be more clinical. That's all we're missing. We've got to be more clinical. Yes, Portsmouth could score 2-3 goals if they're lucky, but we should have had probably 5 to 6 goals in that game. So no matter how many they scored or they thought they should have scored, we should have scored more. And obviously, football doesn't work like that. But go back to Marcelo Bielsa. He says you could score a goal every 18 seconds or something crazy that he said. You can score a lot of goals in a football match, but you don't have to take all of your chances. You just have to take enough of them. And we really should have done. Mateo Joseph had one where he skied it over the bar as well. There was so many chances. Ball dropped to Jorginho on the edge of the box, straight into the goalkeeper's gloves. Couple of Gruev straight into the goalkeeper's gloves or wide. We had so many corners as well, and only one of them looked remotely like going in. So we just have to be more clinical, which is what Daniel Farke identified in that press conference yesterday. We just have to be more clinical. We have to take our chances and we have to neaten up at the back a little bit. But going into our next game, look, I think we're fine. I think we'll go in and we'll play well. We drew the first game of last season 2-2 against Cardiff at home. We went on to get over 90 points. It's not the be-all and end-all. Let's wipe it from the slate, move on, but consider the things that happen in the game and try and build on them. Thanks for watching Leeds Lately, and I'll see you in the next one.